What's going on, everyone? So I want to thank Editor X for sponsoring today's video, and we're going to be creating a minimalistic portfolio website design, and it requires zero coding. Anybody can create this, and let me go ahead and refresh the page and just show you what we're going to be making for today. So here you can see we have a little slight animation, and then when I continue scrolling down, we have our project section, and then you can go ahead and add additional projects, and pretty much I can click on any of these images, bring up the link, and whatever link you want to add in there, go directly to that URL. And then at the bottom we have a contact submission, so pretty much I can go in here and let me just fill this out really quick, and let me just say, just make up an email really quick, and then message or say hi, and then I hit submit, and then it'll say the success message, and then this will actually show up on the database on the back end, and you can see whoever contacted you. And also we have the smooth scroll effect too, so if I click on these menu items, they scroll to specific sections on our website. So depending on how many sections you have, you can sit here and add them too. And also this design is fairly minimalistic and simple, so you're definitely welcome to customize this and add your own custom designs. And we're going to be focusing on Editor X's content manager for this website. So let's actually hop over to Editor X and get started. Now, in order to get started, you're going to need to head over to Editor X's website. So I'll have a link in the description below, so you can click on that link and lead you over to this page. And essentially you can go ahead and click on Start Now. And then all you need to do is sign up for an account, or if you want to continue with Google or Facebook, you can. And then once you are in, I'll hop over to my dashboard so we can get started. So here I am on my dashboard. Now yours might look a little different from mine, but here I am. I'm just going to go ahead and create a new website. And I was going to ask you which one to choose. We're going to use Editor X. Now here you can choose a design you want to create. So I can just click on Portfolio. And then here they already have pre-built templates, so you're welcome to go ahead and just start editing from these templates. But for this tutorial, we're going to use a blank canvas. So I'll just click on this and hit on edit. And here we are on Editor X's dashboard. So let's go ahead and just start creating things. And the first one we're going to do is create the menu. So here is essentially the current header. This is where we're going to create our menu item. And let's just start off with the basics, and we can actually update this logo here. So I'll just click on this logo. And I'm just going to go ahead and click on change vector art. And now I'm going to utilize just regular images from Wix. So I'm just going to type logo here and then just use one already there. If you do have your own logo design, then definitely you can upload your media. Just click on upload media here and then simply choose your file, and then you can upload it from there. But for here, I just use one of these ones down here. So let me quickly find it really quick. So here I just type, this one's list logo. So if you want to reuse the same one as me, feel free. And I'll just click on add to page. And now we have the logo here, and I'm just going to shrink this really quick so it fits, aligns it all the way to the edge. And then now here I can actually close this out, but in the meantime right now this pretty much allows us to update the widths, the styles, the colors, centering content, things of that nature, which we'll be utilizing in a second. But for now, let's just close this out. And then here I'm going to go ahead and click on add elements. So I'll click add elements here. And this is essentially where we'll be able to customize our design. So right off the bat, we have all these things such as quick add, and we have titles, paragraphs, buttons, images, etc. You can clearly see which ones you want to add. And Editor X already has a lot of pre-built templates that make it extremely easy for you to create your website. So if you want to go to like compositions, you can see some of their designs here. Layout tools as well. So if you're using something like grids, things of that nature that fit down here as well. And then also the menu. So we're just going to go ahead and utilize one of their menus right here. And this is the first one I have. And all you need to do is just click it and just drag it. And then pretty much it's right here onto the screen. Now we already have a pre-existing menu. So let me just bring this over really quick. I'm going to click on this current menu. I'm just going to click on delete. And then here for this menu, I can click on manage menu. And right now we just have home currently. So let's just go ahead and I'm going to go over here and we have this pages icon. So I'll click pages. And then here we can add additional pages to our website. So for this design, we only utilize one page and it just scrolls up and down. But ideally, if you were to add additional pages and links, you just simply do it here. And it's the same concept. So here I can just change this one to, for instance, let's just change this to work. And then here I can rechange this name to about. And then here for the actual contact, we'll just say contact here. And now if you go now to the actual menu, so I'll close this out, manage menu now, and then for instance, if I want to go ahead and click on show pages, we can actually go and now choose the ones that we just added. So we have work and contact now, and I'll click on apply. And then here, if you had additional menus, you can actually go here and manage them. But for the current design, it's showing the contact as the one selected. So let's actually go here and just click on this design icon right there. And right now it's assuming that it's clicked. We would just change that to, I'll just put it as opacities like that. And then regular, I'll just go back to the text here and just make sure the actual text is this color right here. This is the default one. And then also for the clicks, make sure the click color is the same thing. So I'll just make it right here. And that current hex code is just black, so it's hashtag 000. And then pretty much we're set to go. Now if you want to change the design, feel free, but I'm just gonna go here and just drag it over now. And you can see these like pinkish purple looking lines. This pretty much shows you the center of whatever section you're in. And then I'll just shrink this just a little bit, just because I want it to be a little closer looking. And then let's go ahead and actually let's just save this really quick. And then here we can change the name, so I'll just call this like portfolio. And I already have a name here, so I'll just add another O for it. And I'll just click on save here. And then technically we can actually go ahead and preview this just to see if everything's working. And now we have this right here. And you can see it looks like that. So right now it's currently on the actual contact, so I click on the abouts. Now we'll have it here, and then you can see the ones that currently are clicked, it doesn't have that. So let's go back here and edit. And now let's go and start creating the first section. So for this design, it's fairly simple, and we can just click here and add an element here. I'll just go to quick add, and I'll just drag in a text. And then here you can just put your name. I'll just put what I had default, like hi. Put just name Joe, for example. And then here, we can actually, I'll just change this color just for like design purposes. We can go and actually highlight the period, and then I can just change this color. So like for instance, color right there, and I can just change this one to this green color right here. And now you can see you have a little different looking design. And then we can edit the text, and this is a way to make it responsive. So instead of it being 28 pixels per same screen, I can actually scale the text. And let's just say I want to put it at 120 right there, 120 on the larger screens, and then like the lower screens we can maybe do like maybe 50. And then here we can actually maybe center the text like this, and then we can simply just drag this out, and then we'll just drag it. I'll put it right here like this, and I'll keep the default font. I like the way that looks, and it currently looks like this. And then all you do is go and add another. So I'll put another thing. I can add a paragraph down below, and then here you can just put edit the text and just add whatever you want. So I'll just put I design and develop websites and apps, and then feel free to check out my work below. So fairly simple, and then we can just center this again here. And then also if you wanted to, you can change the font size, but what we want to do here is add the text and then go back and scale it now. So we'll change it. Let's do 32. Actually, let's do 24. And then for the larger screens, let's just do let's just do 50. See how that looks. And then here I can just drag this out, and then pretty much it looks like this. And then what we want to do is hold shift and click on both of these, and I want to click on stack. That way that they are just stay together with each other. And then pretty much here I have it like this. And then if I were to actually change this to like tablet, they still remain the same. Nothing gets happened to it. And then if you wanted to, for instance, like on mobile, the width might be like a little too skinny, so we can actually go like wider. And then same thing for here. If you wanted to edit the text and even make that smaller where it's like 40, then you could potentially do that as well. So now it looks a little better. And that's essentially how to make it mobile responsive. And then also here, if you see this menu, we can actually go to click on these three dots and just click don't display there. That way it's not showing on the tablets, and then hence there on mobile it doesn't show up. But here you can see fairly simple, and then we can just go ahead and hit save. And then we're pretty much set to go. So that's super basic rundown on how Editor X works with adding content in terms of text. Now let's actually start utilizing the content manager. So here I'll just click on the plus sign right there. And I'll just go ahead and click on a blink. So now the first thing is we're gonna go and add a repeater. So here, these are things that are pre-built with Editor X already. And if you wanted to go over, we can check out the compositions here. And they also have the layout tools, but this is where repeaters are at. And Again, I'm going to use one of the default ones. So for instance, if I can just scroll up and I'll see which one I like. I like this one right here. So I'll just click this one. And what it does, it essentially just adds it right in here, and then you can go ahead and design this however you like. So if I were to actually edit this, for instance, and I move something here, it does it on every single section that we have. So I'll just Command Z here. And I don't need this text design, so I'll just delete it. It deletes it automatically for me. This button is unnecessary. And then what we're going to do is we're not going to sit here and manually edit this content, like typing in here and adding my text. We're actually going to upload this using the content manager and storing our data there, and then that way if we were to add additional projects or additional data, it would just do it by default without you having to go in here manually. So here we can actually go over to this icon right here, content manager, and this will set it up here. And also you can go to the plus sign as well, and there's content manager down here below, same thing, and then you can just click on add site. Now here it shows you some templates, and you can utilize these, feel free to. But for now, we're just going to go blank just so I can show you how to actually utilize it from scratch. And then from there, you can utilize these templates if it's easier for you. So I just click on create here. And then for the page title, I mean, we can just call this one, I'll just call this one content. And then I'll just click on create page. Yeah, so I'm not sure what happened, but let's just go back and check our content manager now. And we see we have content here now. So if you don't have that, you can just go and create a new collection. But here I'll just click on the content now. So right now it's showing us some default data right here. So if you don't have any, that's okay. We're gonna make some from scratch. But I'm actually gonna go here and just straight up delete all of this. So I'll just click on here and just delete the 4 and just click on delete. And now here's essentially the labels, right? So for instance, title, this is by default. And if you click on these 4 hidden fields, you can see additional things right there. But what we need essentially, at least the way I designed it, is we're gonna need a title or the name. And then we're gonna need a image and a little short description, and that's pretty much all we need. So for instance here, we actually don't need this, so I can just delete that here and just delete it. And then so for the title, we'll just click here on a plus sign. And then here I'll just say like real estate website. Again, these are just random names you can add in for your project title, so feel free to update that. For the image, I'm just gonna use default images from Wix. Feel free to upload your own personal project images or whatever makes sense for you. So I'll just go to media from Wix, and I'll just look up, for instance, let me just look up real estate and I'll find an image. So the one I use, I just saw this one right here, this one, empty kitchen, and just click on add to item. And then for the short description, I'll just call this one created a real estate website using React.js and Next.js. So again, these are just random descriptions just to fill in some data, but we can also add a link. So I'm gonna add a link too, and we can change this, right? So that's a plus sign now. So here we can actually change this, and I'll just say link. Feel free to name this whatever you want to. And then for the field type, you have different choices, right? So normally if you just have text, then you have just images, there's booleans, numbers, dates, etc. But for the links, we're gonna utilize the URL, and then I'll click on save. And then you just click this back. Now for here, you just simply put the link to your website or whatever project that you're showcasing. And pretty much I can say like https:// and I'll just put GitHub for the filler website for now. And then pretty much we can just add another one. So I'll just fill this out, just say mobile app. And I'll go ahead and rinse and repeat. And pretty much once I'm done, I'll see you guys after. Alright, so I just finished adding the 3 projects I have for this example. If you need more, feel free to add that. And then also if you need additional information, again, you can just hit the plus sign here. And then just basically add whatever field you want. So for instance, if you want to add a date, then you can just go here and then pretty much click date and time, whatever fits your needs. And I'll just click cancel here because I don't need that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just exit off here. Now, we have that data already created now. And now what I wanna do is actually link this to this repeater section. So I'm gonna actually click on, or just hover over one of these items and then click onto this repeater option. And now you see this little icon right here, and this allows us to connect data. So let's click on this. And then now we gotta create a data set. So I'll click on create data set. And then we just created that collection with all our 3 projects. You would just choose it. I name mine content, so you can click on there. And then content data set, feel free to name this whatever you want to. I click on create. And now we have this little icon showing up. Now this isn't visible on the actual web page, but since we're editing it, it'll just show up on your side. So here we can actually go ahead, and if you wanted to, you can click on manage contents, And again, this will just edit the existing data that we just added earlier, in case you didn't know how to do this. And then once it loads, I'll show you actually. So here's our data we just put in. And then if you wanted to, we can click on settings. So here you can update additional settings. So if you had different collections, and then also if you want things such as read only, write only, which we're actually going to be updating this for the actual contact form. And then number item display and ways to filter it. Now since we actually connected this now, so let me exit off this. Let me click on this image now. And I'm going to click on the repeater, the data icon right here again. And now since we're connected, we only have one data set right now. All I need to do is simply click on this connection options. So for the image, I want to showcase the image. And right now it's going to say this successfully connected. So we can preview that in a second. For the alt text for accessibility issues, I mean, we can just straight up put the title for now. And if you wanted to change it, make a custom label for alt text, feel free to do that. And for tooltip, we'll just do the same thing for this example. But for this to link, this is one of the most important. We'll include the actual link URL. And then now if I hit exit out here, then we can click on this text now. So I'll connect the data, I'll click on the connect data here. For the text, I want that to be our title. And then for the description, I'll click exit off really quick. And then for this one, I'll click on this data set. And then for this, I want this to be the short description. And again, just to reiterate, if I go back to manage content, everything that we just created. So we have title, that's the title. These are the names that you would check in. Image, essentially image. Short description is the descriptions, and then links, the links. So those are all the values that we're adding when we click on this icon. Like we're clicking the title. So that's the name of your project. So now, actually, let me go ahead and click on preview. And let's see if this actually updated. So now you can see that I only did it on one of these little items, and we can see that we have all of our projects here listed, and it's essentially showing it right up on our website. Now obviously we have to update this, but for instance, if I were to click on one of these, it would open up the link and add a little hashtag at the icon so you can tell that's a different link. And essentially that's how we're able to create the project right there. So now let's go ahead and go back and edit the site now. And we can go back here and manage the content. And depending on the order that you want it to be, you would just change that. But for this example, I'll just keep it like that, and then we'll pretty much be fine right now. So next thing, I just want to change up the design a little bit. So for instance, this background of the section, let's just go over to the right side. And always, if you want to edit the design, just simply click on this icon here. Background, we'll just change this to white. And then same thing for this like internal section for the items. Background will just be white as well. And then let's go ahead and click on preview just to make sure everything looks good. And as you can see, everything looks just like that. And now we can go ahead and edit the site again. And now let's go ahead and create the next section. So I already have another section here. If you don't, just go click on this plus sign right there. And for this example, now Editor X already has custom contact forms, but they're already pre-built with a certain design. So for this example, we're gonna make one from scratch. That way you can actually add your own customization. So first off, let's just go ahead and we can go here to this input, and I'll just drag in these inputs. So I'll just drag this first one, and then I'm gonna go back again, I'll drag another input. And then for the last one, I'll just click on this text box one down here, and I'll just drag this one down here. And now one thing too, I'll add a little container just so we can actually have everything centered. So I'll go to quick add, go to container, I'll just drag a container here. And then I'll just increase the height a little bit, the width a little bit. And then I'll just try to center this with this section here. And then also we can check our layout to make sure everything's like this. And right now it looks like all of the inputs are currently outside. So let's actually go ahead and try to drag these in here. Now if it's not gonna work, what we could do is we can click on the actual container, drag it over, and then click on the input. I'll do Command X, and I'll click into the container, Command V. That way it's easier. And I'll just Command X this one again, and just paste it inside here. And then same thing here. So now if we go to actual layout, just drag this container back over now. And in case if you were to drag it in, it didn't actually get inside the container, that's a little way to do it too. And now we can just go ahead and start editing. So we have the text box here. And then let me close this out so it's easier to see. We'll have the inputs up here. So I can just drag it up here. And we'll actually add some text too. So let me just drag these up a little bit. And I'm actually going to increase the size of these too. So for instance, right now the container, let's go to container. Let's make this 40% width. So 40%. And then for here, the inputs, let's do 90%, and then let's do 54 pixels high. So let's do 90%, and then this one will be 54 pixels. And then I'll just drag this like right there. Same thing here, 90%, and this will be 54. And then for the text box, same thing. We'll just rinse and repeat. Except for the height, let's just do 17%. And then now, let's make sure everything's nice and centered. Let's drag it over here. So we can actually click on these inputs and we can change the settings. And for instance, if you wanted to change the placeholder, I'll just say like name. And then here, settings again. This one, we'll just put like email. And you can have it like this. And then you wanted to change this to email, it also would change as well. And then also settings here, and we can just say just message. And I just keep it like that. And that's fairly simple. Now I might just make this a little bigger, just like that. And that's pretty much what we have so far. Now, in terms of design, let me just design this really quick. So I'll click on the styles. The border, let's make this 1 pixel. And then just change that color pretty much black. And then same thing with the text. We'll just make the color, make sure everything is dark black here. And then rinse and repeat. So I'll just do this again. Make this 1 pixel. And then one last thing we need to add is the text. And then also we actually need to add a button too. So let's just add the text really quick. And you can put whatever you want to. Let's just put like let's chat. And then we can actually make sure we center this too. And then pretty much I'll just drag this in. And then for the button, we'll click here. I'll just drag a button. And then I'll just add it over here. And for the background, I'll just change it to the default green we had earlier, which is the one right here. And then with the text, we can just put, just keep it white. So I'll just put it like this. Border will just be none. And then for the hover, I mean, we could just keep that as, yeah, we can keep it like that. And then for the text, we'll just change the text and just say submit. And then one thing before we finish up, we'll just click on all of these by hitting shift and clicking on them. So we select them all, and then I'll just click on stack just to make sure everything's nice and responsive. And then last thing is for the container, we'll just simply hide this this width, this border, just so it's invisible. And now we can just check on the actual different sections. So like here, if you wanted to change that, make it bigger, feel free to do it like that. And then also if you want to change this container size on here, we can put it like, for instance, to 60. And then maybe for the mobile, we'll do the same thing. We'll put it like 80. And then this one, we can actually extend this out. And that's pretty much just making it a little responsive. And then we can go ahead, let's go ahead and preview this. And so far, that's what we have right now. Now, this thing technically doesn't work because it has nothing to actually submit to. So let's go back to edit site. And now let's go ahead and create a collection that will allow us to actually get submissions. So we'll go up here to this icon, create collection up here, and we'll just click on create new collection. And then here, let's just call this one, I'll call this contact. Feel free to name this whatever you want to. And instead of being site content, let's actually click on form submission. Now click on create collection. And now it's very similar to the other way we just did, except this time, whatever we create and they submit, it'll show up over here. Now friends, here we have the title. Now if you don't like the way that looks, you can actually go ahead and click on properties and just rename this to like name. And that way it might be easier for you to read, but it's just gonna have the key title and text here, and that would be fine. And then here we can click on it and let's just call this an email. And then we have, let's just do a message. And I'll just hit save. And that's pretty much all I have right now for the form, right? So now if I go exit off here, now I can actually go back up to this content manager. And I can click on add content elements and click on form data set. So I'll just click on this. So now we have this form data set over here. And I'm just gonna click on these settings now. And the collection we're gonna choose is the contact now. And then here, we're actually gonna go ahead and leave it as that. And then now what we can do is exit off. And now when I click on my input fields here, I click on the connected data icon. I can now choose the contact data set. And then pretty much value connects to, and for this is the name, so I'll just put name. And then for the email, rinse and repeat, do the same thing. I'll choose, and this is contact. And then this one will connect to email. And then for the message, I'll go here, choose contact data sets, and this should be message. And then one thing is we have the button here. So now if I click on here and connects to dataset, and I click on contact dataset, we need to do a click action. I want to connect this to a submit. And then now we can actually go and add a submit, or essentially a success message. And you can change it like the link and where it redirects to, but I'll just keep it on the same page. And I'll just add success message, and what happens is this little thing will pop up, this message on the background. And I should just add this one like right below this right here. And for the actual container, let me just increase it a little bit in height. And then here you can just add whatever you want to. So I can just say like, thank you for reaching out. I will get back to you as soon as possible. And then we can just drag this over. Again, this is completely customizable, so it doesn't really matter what you put for now. But yeah, we can just drag it up a little bit. Looks like that. And then let's go ahead and preview this and test this out. So I'll go ahead and preview this. So now here is a preview. Now I'm just going to type in my name, and we'll just pass in some filler data. So I just put here, and then it should be like hello, or yeah, just put hi, and I hit submit. And then if it submits, it should essentially show me the success message, which I just added. And I'll just go back to edit the site. And then what we can do is we can actually go to the content manager now and then look for the contact. So I'll click on contact now. And if everything worked, the data should show up here. So as you can see, now we can see the person's name, the email, and the message. So now if you wanted to respond to that, then obviously you can just get the details here. And now you can see how you can utilize the content manager for essentially creating dynamic content such as projects and also receiving form submissions as well. And the last thing I want to show you is how to add the animations and then the smooth scroll effect. So let's go ahead and change this here. We can actually go down here. We can just change this up to just put like 23, and you can put this by your name, whatever your website is called, and that'll be fine. And then basically now let's do first the actual menu. So first off, if you notice when I click on preview and I scroll, the menu doesn't actually show. So let's actually go and fix that really quick. So first thing is you can click on your menu section, click on here, and then for right now, when it says scroll, change this to fixed. And then I'll just basically, you'll see, as long as you have fixed, you'll be fine. And then I'll just hit on preview now, which closes out. So now when I scroll, it's always staying there. So that's perfect. Edit the site again. And then now what I want to do is add the anchor so that when I click on the menu item, it actually connects to the section that I have. So the first one here, this is just the about section. So I click into it, click over here. And then what we can do is we can scroll down to the bottom where it says anchor, and I'll just scroll up and I'll just click on add anchor. And then here, let's call this one, let's call it about. And then we'll just rinse and repeat. So now I can click off of it, click on the next section, scroll down, we have add anchor. And then here, I'll just call this one just work. And then we can scroll down again. And then we just do the same exact thing, add anchor, and just call this one contact. And now all we need to do to actually have this work is we go back to our menu. So I'll click here. We can manage the menu now. Now, for instance, you want to click on this. We can click on the three dots and click on change the link. And then what we want to do is click on anchor. And then we click on here and just call this one, for instance. It looks like the anchors didn't save properly. So let me go back and make sure the name of the anchors are saved properly. So for instance, this one should be called about. If it's not, looks like it didn't save. Let's do about. And then let's see if it works now. So I'll go back to manage menu, click it, change link, anchor, top of page, about. There we go. And I'll hit done. And it looks like the work one didn't fix. Let me change that name really quick again just to make sure. So here, just call this work, press enter, I'll click it. Okay, it looks like it's good. So now I'll go back up, menu here, manage menu, work, change link, anchor, and this will be just work. And then last one, contact, change link, anchor, top of page, and this should be contact. And now if we preview this, so once I go here, I'll click preview. So now we have it. When you scroll, it's fixed. I click on about, it scrolls down, same with work and contact, and goes right back up. And last thing I want to show you is how to add animation. So here we have this text, and we can click on this little icon here which says animation. For this one, I just did essentially reveal. I delayed it a little bit longer just so it's like easier to see in effect, but I think probably 155, 140 probably is decent. And then here you can change it again, click on the animations here. And let's just do like a fade in. It's fairly simple. And then for this one, I'm going to click on this item, but go to the repeater. And then I'll animate everything. I'll just put a fade in here. And then that's pretty much what I did there. And then I'll just go ahead and hit preview. So animations. And then right now we can't really see the second one, but let's actually go ahead and publish the site. And let's view this link. And then it should show us the full complete design. So here we have the animations. We have the fade effect for the projects. Looks like it's not showing. Let me make sure if I refresh the page, maybe it's just delayed. So I realized one thing I forgot to add, the reason why it's not showing up on the live, is we actually have to sync this. So let's go back to our editor and we can click on the content manager and then let's click on, for instance, content. And then here we have this sandbox and it says sync Sandboxer live. So simply I'll just click on sync Sandboxer live, sync items, continue syncing, and then we're pretty much good there. And then also if you want to do it for the actual contact too, you can as well. Here I just sync Sandboxer live, sync live, continue syncing, and exit off here. So now if I hit publish, everything should be working now. So I click on view site. Now we have the animation here. There we go. We got all our projects. They go off to different links. And then we have the contact form here, which we can fill out. And then also our smooth scroll effect works for our menu. And once you complete your design and you're satisfied with the way it looks and you want to upgrade your website to get a custom domain and additional features, then go over here to upgrade and simply go upgrade now and check out the plan to see additional features that you might need. And aside from that, this ends the tutorial for today. So this is what we created, and definitely let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. And aside from that, like this video, share this with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.